Once upon a time, they all start once upon a time. Once upon a time, in the neighbourhood of Ballygrant, one of the pupils at the village school was a girl who was spoiled, lazy and greedy. Her parents ran the change house, that's an old name for the pub, and did not have much time to spend with her, so they tried to make up for it by giving her almost anything she wanted. One day, just before Christmas, the school teacher said, "If you are good children and finish writing out all the Gaelic proverbs, I'll give you all some mincemeat pies." The spoiled girl was hopeless at writing Gaelic and sat for a while making faces, while the other children worked. Then she asked permission to go to the toilet, where she sat in a huff, eating some toffees she had in her pocket. While sitting there sucking toffees and daydreaming, she eventually nodded off. When she woke and returned to the class, she found that the lesson was finished, and so were all the mincemeat pies. She went home to her mum in tears, complaining loudly that the other children got mince pies and she got none. She was in quite a strop about this perceived injustice. Finally her mother said, "Never mind, my dear, if it will cheer you up, I'll bake you a whole tray of mincemeat pies." The girl's eyes suddenly dried up and began to sparkle with greed instead of tears. Unfortunately, her mum had no muffin tray to make mince pies in, so she said to her daughter, "If you want mince pies, I'm afraid you'll have to go to Uncle Wolf's house at Mulreach and ask nicely to borrow his muffin tray." The little girl was caught between her greed and her laziness, and besides she was afraid of Uncle Wolf, who had a reputation for being bad-tempered. In the end, the thought of a whole tray of mince pies had her salivating all the way along the winding track to Mulreach. When at last she arrived at Uncle Wolf's house, she knocked on the door. "Knock, knock." "Who's there?" "It's me." "No one has visited me for months and months. What do you want?" "Mummy sent me to borrow a muffin tray so she can make mincemeat pies." "Just a minute till I get my shirt on." Knock, knock. "Hold on, wait till I get into my breeks." Knock, knock. "For goodness sake, hold your horses, I'm trying to find my boots." At last Uncle Wolf opened the door and gave her the muffin tray. But he barked gruffly, "Tell your mum that I want the tray back tomorrow with a batch of mince pies for me. In fact, while she's got the oven on, she can make me a bannock too. Oh, and half a mutchkin of whisky to wash it down." The girl readily agreed and skipped all the way home with the muffin tray. She told her mother about Uncle Wolf's conditions. Her mother then made her a whole tray of mince pies, which she ate at one sitting. The next day, after much grumbling, she set off once more to Uncle Wolf's house, this time carrying a rather heavy basket containing the tray full of mince pies, a fresh baked bannock and a bottle with whisky in it. She had to stop a number of times to rest along the way, and each time she rested, she could not resist eating one of the mincemeat pies. By the time she was barely halfway there, the pies were all gone. Soon, her greed and laziness ensured that the bannock was transferred from the basket to her belly as well, which made the basket seem somehow easier to carry. Now, however, she was thirsty, cold and tired, so she turned her attention to the bottle of whisky. She had sucked the occasional drop of whisky in the change house before when no one was looking. But after polishing off half a mutchkin, she became quite fuzzy-headed, and her thinking was even more befuddled than usual. Looking around, she filled the bottle with ditch water, put some deer droppings in the muffin tray, and replaced the bannock with an old dried-up cow pat. When Uncle Wolf opened the door, she put the basket down in front of his range and quickly turned to go. "Bye, Uncle Wolf," she said. "Just a minute, you wait right here," said Uncle Wolf, stopping her in her tracks. Uncle Wolf bit into one of the mince pies. "These taste like shite," he said. Then he bit into the bannock. It's crap." Quickly he raised the bottle to his lips to wash away the evil taste, but instead he sprayed a mouthful of ditch water all over the floor. He turned to vent his anger on the girl, but she was already running away down the path towards Ballygrant. Uncle Wolf shouted after her, "I'll get you for this! Tonight I'm coming to eat you!" The girl girl ran all the way home and told her mum, "Tonight Uncle Wolf is coming to eat me." "Don't worry," said her mum, "I won't let Uncle Wolf harm you." And that night, after the last drinker left the change house, the girl's mother locked all the doors and windows tightly and went to bed. Unfortunately, she gave no thought to the chimney. In the middle of the night, the girl woke up to hear Uncle Wolf's voice outside. "I'm right outside and I'm going to eat you." Then she heard footsteps on the roof. "Now I'm on your roof and I'm coming to get you." The girl covered her ears but could not help hearing a scuffling noise in the chimney and Uncle Wolf's voice saying, "Now I'm in the chimney and I'm coming to eat you." She hid under the bedclothes crying, "Mummy, Mummy, Uncle Wolf is coming." Then Uncle Wolf was in the room and his voice was loud and scary. "I'm right here by your bed and I'm going to eat you now." The girl curled up in a tight ball, shaking like a leaf and sobbing with fear. Uncle Wolf gave a full-throated growl that built into a howl of excited anticipation. Then he ate the girl all up. The moral of this story is that spoiled children usually come to a sticky end, especially if they drink someone else's whiskey.